Welcome to the Return-to-Duty podcast. What every CDL driver going through the Return-to-Duty process needs to know. From the clearinghouse to SAP steps, we're here to guide you back to safety-sensitive work, legally and confidently.
Hi, everybody. My name is Julie.
And I'm Ray.
And we're a CTPA, and we help drivers complete Step 5 of the Return to Duty program. Our company is called Get Out of Prohibited, and today you're tuned in with Get Out of Prohibited TV, our podcast, and we're going to be talking about the Downgrade Law anniversary approaching on November 18th.
What the downgrade law is, it put a time frame on drivers to be able to keep their license in good standing. If you had a violation almost a year ago, they put a time limit, which most states is 30 days. It varies between different states. On November 18th, drivers all over the country's license dropped down. They no longer had a CDL at the moment.
Yes. The clearinghouse decided to take it a step further. After you get your violation, you're automatically put in the prohibited status anyway, so you're not able to drive or use your Class A license. But as of November 18th, they took it a step further to go ahead and downgrade the license if you were in that prohibited status for a certain amount of time. And that varies between states. Whenever it first started, looking at everybody's letters that they were getting, some states were saying 60. We're in Texas. That letter was saying 30 days. So it did vary by state. The best way to know how long you have is to call your local DMV. The way that you avoid having your license downgraded is by completing Step 5. The program is a 6-step program, but the clearinghouse only wants to see that you've retested and you have a clean drug screen on file.
To start clearing your Step 5 process, it's easy. Visit our website, www.getoutofprohibited.com. You can select Get Started Now or call a member of our team at 832-572-5277. We'll walk you through Step 1 of our process, which is completing an intake form. This form is going to give us your SAP counselor information, your driver's license information, so that we can act as your representative in the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. From there, you'll submit your payment. We have a couple of different payment options, which includes in-house financing, third-party financing, or paying the full amount. Immediately once your payment is received, we'll work with your SAP to get your completion paperwork. We will also determine exactly what type of test you need to take. Next, we'll walk you through, and when I say walk you through, we're literally holding your hand as we walk you through how to pick us as your representative in the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. And once that's done, we'll send you down to a drug testing facility in our network that's in your zip code. The results take about 3 to 5 business days to come back. And when those results come back, we're immediately going to update the clearinghouse and notify the driver's license office that you have successfully passed your return to duty drug test. At that point, you're no longer prohibited and you're able to go and find a new truck driving job. Visit our website today, www.getoutofprohibited.com, to get started.
Recently, I had a driver call me and let me know that he was on his way to actually take his test with us, his return to duty test, when he was pulled over because the police said that he was not only able to drive a semi-truck, he was also unable to drive his regular license. Some states are even taking it a step further, and they're downgrading your regular license after you've been in the prohibited status for some time. He was in North Carolina, and we've been getting calls from different states saying that the regular license was affected as well, and they don't understand why. This is another thing that you have to call the DMV to see, just to even check if your regular license is in good standing. Or for drivers who are saying, I don't care about driving anymore, this process is too much, I'm not going to do it, I'm giving up my license, or I'm voluntarily downgrading myself. You still have to complete this program, those classes, and retest and provide a clean drug screen on file because it can affect your regular license as well.
Just like Julie, I also had a driver call and his regular license was downgraded as well. Not only that, when he made the call to the local DMV there in his town, his state, they also let him know that he had a certain amount of time before not only was his license going to stay downgraded, but also he'd have to return to school and do the whole process over. This is something that you guys want to reach out to your local DMV, get the timeline together, and try to get proactive about completing step 1 through 5. Step 6 takes a little bit more time. As far as the license goes, 1 through 5 is the steps that are needed to get you out of prohibited and get those licenses reinstated.
Yes. And that flag on your license, after some time, everyone can see it. I had a driver tell me that he was door dashing just to make ends meet until he could get the money to return to duty. They flagged his DoorDash account and he was unable to drive because you have to upload your license into these systems. Yes, so his DoorDash account was flagged, and he's not the first driver to tell me that he was doing driver services and they flagged his regular license once he entered all of his license information in. The clearinghouse just wants you to complete those mandated classes, those 16-hour courses with a qualified SAP, but they also want you to retest. They have to see that you have that clean drug screen on file in order for them to allow you to drive again. And then also, after quite some time of being in that prohibited status, not only do you have to face the possibility of being downgraded, but once you are downgraded, some states have fees that they require to have the license reinstated again. I took a look at the Texas letter that they're receiving. It does not mention fees. And I also had a driver tell me that he could call the DMV and get the license back reinstated after he took the test. He didn't have to go into the office. I have seen Illinois had a $50 reinstatement fee. I've seen some states with a $90 reinstatement fee. So the fee is also varying from the states. Some states don't have them, and then some states do have a small fee just to come into the office and get the license reinstated. I also seen on some letters that they are asking you to mail your license in. They don't want you to even have the memory of keeping your CDL.
Right.
They want you to mail it in or come to the DMV and let them cut it up. If you don't mail it in, they're also requiring a fee for that as well.
Right.
And so these are all different things that are going to vary depending on the state that you're in.
Yes, definitely.
If you're looking to get out of prohibited status, you can give me or Ray a call. Both of our numbers are on the screen. We're able to help you complete step 5 only. We don't do steps 1 through 4. We do have some highly recommended counselors that we can refer you to that we know will help you in getting through this process. Once you're done and you give us a call, it's going to take anywhere between 3 to 5 business days to get those results back. Once we get those results back, we guarantee that we upload them the exact same day. Let's say that we get your results in and you're already downgraded. All you have to do is have us reinstate the license, head to the DMV, and let them know that you've completed step 5 and that they can go ahead and reinstate you. Because that system does not update automatically. Make sure if you are downgraded, you're confirmed past your downgrade date that's on your letter. And each driver has their own individual date. If you're past that date, you do have to go to the DMV and let them know because it's not an automatic process. You'll be out of prohibited status, but you'll still be downgraded. Another thing is the medical card. If your medical card is expired or you sat in downgrade for maybe a few months and that medical card expired, you have to get that. You have to get out prohibited status first, and then you're able to get your medical card. Same with expired personal license. It's the same with the real ID as well. If you want your real ID to travel, these are all things you have to do. You have to get out of prohibited status first in order for you to do. So that's the medical card, the real ID, and your regular license. If any of those expire or you're looking to get those, you do have to get out of prohibited status first.
Yes.
Our team is dedicated to ensuring that you understand the return to duty process, you are educated on how not to get into the return to duty process, and that you have a successful and safe career in trucking. We are deeply committed to your success, and that is why we host workshops every other Wednesday. I want to invite you to an upcoming workshop. All you have to do is visit our website to see when the next scheduled workshop is and get registered. On the workshops, I talk about educating yourself in this process. I talk about how to understand your rights as a truck driver in the drug and alcohol testing process, and also how to understand step 6 when your violation falls off, and so much more. Make sure you visit our website, www.getoutofprohibited.com.
So now we're going to answer a few questions from real drivers from our YouTube page.
Yes, I have Dirty Boys Production commented, regardless of whether I complete step 6, companies still won't hire me and my CDL is worthless until the 5 years is up. This is completely untrue. We have drivers that drive immediately after they've completed step 5, whether they had a company lined up, they're going back to their old company, or they found a company on our SAP-friendly job list. Drivers start driving immediately after. You're eligible to start driving immediately after you've completed step 5 and got out of that downgrade status. That's going to vary by your location, where you're at, the run you're looking for, what you're willing to drive, you want to touch freight, you don't want to touch freight. When a driver says they can't find a company, or when other drivers tell you staff isn't worth it, I can't find anything, you have to take that with a grain of salt, because it's hard to find a home daily job even if you don't have a prohibited status on your license. You never know what a driver is looking for, what pay range they were trying to stay in whenever they tell you that it's hard to find a company as a staff. We've helped thousands of drivers and plenty of them are driving at this point.
Question came from Jorge Reyes, 6436. He says, I'm on step number 4. My SAP agent says step 5 is me finding a company that wants to take me as a SAP driver and will send a letter to, he will send a letter to them confirming I went through SAP process. And step 6 is me drug testing a minimum of 6 times in a matter of a year. Is that really how it goes? I've been in step 4 because I can't find a company that will take me in order for my SAP to send a letter to. They hear I'm a SAP driver and they turn me down. Please help. I feel like my SAP agent is slowing me down because I don't know the steps and how it really goes. I'm in step 4 as we speak. He can't find to do his step 5. This is where we come into play. As a CTPA, we're able to take care of the step 5. And I tell a lot of drivers, like, if you can find a company to do it, then, great. But if companies don't know the process to how to even take care of step 5, they don't have anyone aligned in their company to take care of this. There's a lot that goes to it. With this, there's a filing with Clearinghouse, FMCSA. There's a lot of things. I think companies are not wanting to even get their hands on that step, just because they don't want to do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And possibly get fined later or anything like that, or mess up the driver or anything. So I always tell drivers, go through a CTPA, take care of the step 5, have the return to duty, get your license back in good standing, and then go and find a job. So just imagine if it's you and 3 other people going up for a job. People, they may be SAP drivers, they may not, but they have license in good standing. Mm-hmm. You're a driver who is in prohibited status. That means you cannot legally be on the road in a vehicle, with your class. As a company, I'm the people who have the guy who has a license that's ready to get on the road. Mm-hmm. Not the guy that I have to send to an RTD, get his paperwork taken care of. I don't even know how to do the paperwork. It just doesn't, unless it's a company with the process and knows how and has something already set up to take care of it. You would have to go through a CTPA. And I just tell them, if you want to speed up the process, do you want your chances better to find employment, I definitely will do a CTPA. And like I said, that's what we do. We help drivers get past step 5 and get ready to be licensed in good standings. What other question? Is this really how it goes? Step 6. So, like I said, basically do a CTPA. If you can't find a job and you try for months, try to go through a CTPA. Give us a call, me or Julie. We can definitely help you take care of step 5. I think you had another question there. My SAP agent to send a letter. They hear me. Okay, I answered that. So your SAP not holding or down your process. They're just waiting to send your paperwork. Right. It's going to take care of your step 5. So they're not slowing you down. Just need to take care of 5.
Yes. I always recommend to my drivers to even apply for companies because they see that big red prohibited status
Right.
and that's scary. They don't even know what that means. So I always recommend get out of prohibited status first and then go ahead and start applying for companies unless your company is familiar with this process and hiring staff drivers, which many are not.
Yes.
But Rob Robinson, 1418, he says, "Hi, I live in Illinois. How long do I have before my license is downgraded?" And so this just goes back to what we were saying earlier. Everything varies by state and then by the date that you were downgraded. I mean, the date that you failed or drug screen. It's always best to say 30 days from the date that you originally failed or refused is the possible date that you could be downgraded. So confirm after you failed or refused, got that call from the MRO, make sure that the violation is in your clearinghouse first, and then go ahead and get started with a SAP. And then, like I said, if the license it's a quick fix to get it back reinstated, as long as you don't sit in that downgrade status for months and months and months on end, or even up until the anniversary, November 18th, from when the downgrade date was originally put in place. But it's safe to say 30 days. If you would like to be 100% sure on your state, call your local DMV.
Yes. So the next question comes from Astro Shoe Talk. That's how I'm going to read that name. That's how I'm going to read that name. So it says, got my CDL in 2002, drove for a year with family friend, failed the drug test at 23, passed all my SAP classes and told I won't be able to get a job. I've been at a warehouse ever since. I want to drive again. So this kind of goes to what I just said. So he completed SAP. His next step was step 5, getting his license reinstated, getting it out of prohibited status. So if you haven't been able to find a company, you need to reach out to a CTPA. Like I said, our company is called Get Prohibited. Reach out to us. We can help you with that. We can get your license back in good standings and get you ready to get back on the road. That's not true. You will be able to get a job. There are jobs hiring staff drivers. Like we said, some of them see that big red prohibited and they are closing the file like immediately because they truly just don't know. Definitely they're taken care of. Yeah, I think just give us, it was 12 days ago. Yeah, give us a call. We can help you.
Awesome. And then the final question that I'm answer is from Leon Keith 4991 says, if I'm in step 6 and I haven't been offered a job at the moment, how can I get the test done? So if you have not been offered a job and you're in step 6, there's no rush to get step 6 done because it's the step that takes the longest. So they're not going to downgrade you. If you never get step 6 done in your entire life, they're not going to downgrade you because they know companies don't know how to do step 6. And then sometimes it can take a driver some time to complete step 6. But once you are driving again, or if you're not driving, I do want to let drivers know that companies can do your step 6 if they have a DOT number and you're performing safety sensitive functions. So if you're a yard jockey or you're working at, a Home Depot or a Lowe's warehouse, these companies numbers. So if you want to take a step from trucking and work in a warehouse or whatever the case may be, if they have a DOT number, they can still do your step 6 for you. And that is one of my biggest step 6 hacks that I let drivers know that don't want to work in trucking for the time being. You can work for another company. If they have a DOT number, that's still considered performing safety sensitive functions. And that company can do step 6 for you. But in the meantime, if you have nothing at all or you're not working for a company with a DOT number, you're just sitting on your hands. It's perfectly fine to sit on your hands because they will not downgrade.
So something else that I want to touch on this episode, we had a driver recently call, and basically he was in communication with an off TikTok that was basically giving a service of removing them completely.
Wow.
So I just want to let all drivers know it's very enticing. It's cheap. I think it was like $225 to have done. The whole violation has never happened. I just say that do not fall for like this. This is short-lived. It may, things work out for them, then you get hit really hard. And not only will you probably lose your license, you'll probably get fines and other things like that. And you'll probably won't lose your CDL after being found doing a scam like that. You'll probably lose your
go to
license.
jail.
Yeah, and go to jail. So just so you know, there's nothing that you can to remove completely. Okay, and it definitely, if it was, it wouldn't be. I guarantee you, it's so much more. It's not a thing. So you guys, please be aware of all scams. People coming to you guys. This is a very vulnerable time for a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
I know a lot of drivers are desperate, and we all have families. We all have things responsible for. But please move safely, smart, reach out to people, questions, look up backgrounds, everything with companies. If it doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right, too cheap, things like that, don't do it. Because most of the time, these companies are just preying on drivers. They know that you guys want to get back on the road, you have family, things like that. So just be aware of this. And removing a violation is absolutely absurd. It's not,
It
it cannot
doesn't even
happen.
sound right.
These companies that are coming and preying on you guys at this time.
Yeah. That one doesn't even, that would be scary if somebody was able to offer something like that to me.
Right.
The FMCSA, the clearinghouse, they're backed up. You call, you're on the phone for 48 hours, or you're on hold for 48 hours. I know the government is shut down, but they will get to you eventually to
Right.
take your license. We've
Yes.
seen them investigate drivers before. They have us and asked for a driver's paperwork because he had something was going on with the staff. They were the staff. And they needed all the driver's information that ever worked with that staff within a time period. So they're
Right.
coming.
Yeah.
They are coming.
It
They
may
will
take some
check.
time.
It may take some time, but they come. But yes, thank you guys much for episode 3 of Get Out of Prohibited TV. Of course, my name is Julie. You can give me a call if you have any questions about step 5, step 6, the process, a scam, something don't sound right. You can always give me a call. My direct line is 832-339-0790.
And I'm Ray. If you have any questions, just like Julie said, or anything, need help or want understanding to anything, I am open to answer questions and assist. My number is 346-706-4005.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.